Wow, that is pretty. But yeah, ooh, great. Cattle truck. That's going to smell good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I haven't smelled cows in about 3 minutes. I don't know how long my camera's going to last, but check out these trees. Humboldt Forest, or wherever we are. Oh my God. We just passed this one that was right on the corner of the road, kind of like this. Just massive. Probably 18 feet in diameter. 20 feet or more. Oh my God. So I don't know if my camera's recording or not, but we are headed south out of Eureka. We've been on the road for about an hour, going south down 101, and we are headed to Ukiah, I think is how you pronounce it, to stop in at Coffman's Exhaust and visit with them. Have them take a look at the Cub and see if they can do a prototype exhaust on this. And they told me that they've got a Rebel 1100 owner that dropped off their bike for prototyping. They didn't have a bike until now, and that owner sent me an email saying, hey, if you drop by Coffman, say hello to my bike. That was cool. So we're going to be there in about another hour and a half, I think, and visit with them for a little bit. It's getting kind of late in the afternoon now, unfortunately. I think our arrival time is going to be almost 3 o'clock there, because we took our time, or I took my time getting around to get out of the hotel this morning. And anyway, we don't really have a schedule or a plan. We're just kind of moving our way southward to pick up Coffman's visit, and if we've got time today, we'll continue further south. Otherwise, we'll find a place to camp and then maneuver on south and east toward Las Vegas, and we stop at Dino Jets. So I'll let them know what our ETA is, and stop by and do some pictures and visit with the Dino Jet people. And if we get lucky, maybe we can have them do a little tune on the Cubs with their in-house dyno. Let's see. This is the road. I'm just going to let the camera roll until the battery dies, if it hasn't died already. I don't even know. Can't tell. Can't see the little light. All of my batteries have been dead. I didn't charge anything last night. I was tired. We had dinner, drinks, and that was all she wrote. I cratered. I was so out of it. I posted a couple things on Instagram and YouTube, and lights out. I woke up about 6:30 this morning going, where am I? So that's what we affectionately call cannonball brain. You just start not thinking straight, forgetting basic stuff like, oh yeah, where did I leave my key? Where's my helmet anyway? .101 has been kind of a nice highway coming down. Lots of steep inclines and fast turns. We got surprised by a couple of unexpected wind gusts going through the valleys. Get hit by 45, 50 mile an hour gusts just out of nowhere, road wind, and wham, oh hey, they're going to go off the road. Oh, it's riding through the mountains. It is pretty spectacular out here. Huge trees, huge trees. He's not going fast enough, he's going to get stuck behind us. The other thing we've been discussing over the comms is brainstorming on the perfect cannonball bike, and we think the Cub could be the perfect cannonball bike. Ben came in second place, and he was running solo with no support, and the only person that beat him was on an S-Max, and they had support. So we think that the Cub is quite capable of being the winner. And Ben made a few routing errors. We kept catching, or we would pass him, and he would catch up to us again, and left and right. So he was making routing errors. So with a little bit better navigation and not making those mistakes, he would have been way ahead. So anyway, long story short, we think the Cub can do it. It needs a big bore kit, and of course that would change the handicap, but it would still just absolutely dominate in the corners and everything else, because nobody could stay with it. But anyway, we had a lot of fun, and we're still brainstorming on if we do it again, when we do it again, what are we going to take. So we got another scoot here. I can't tell if it's a scoot or a big bike. What do we got? Ah, it's another one of the cannonballers. That's the dude from Texas, from Austin. What was his rider name? I forgot. Alan. Yeah, he's from Austin. He's riding the Kimco 300. It is windy. Woo, buddy. Yeah, find a clean spot, not on an uphill, preferably on a good downhill where people can see us. Yeah, preferably at on downhill where they can see us. If we make it that far, we'll find out. We could do an off and on this exit, but I don't even know if it goes back on right away. Some of these you get stuck and you got to go miles out of your way. Got a bicyclist here, another one. Man, these guys are dedicated. I cannot imagine climbing these hills on a bicycle. Ugh. Yeah, that's a good idea, right there. Yeah, it's uphill, but who cares? You got shade. Okay, so we're going to do a refuel here. I'm not flashing out yet, but I will be soon. Oh, I just started flashing. Good timing. Oop, first gear. Okay, can I get my side stand down? Yep, perfect. All right, fuel up time. Yep. Okay, so we're back on the road. We stopped for a quick refuel, and we met up with that guy that, I don't know if you saw him on camera before we stopped, bike packer, the guy that was pedaling uphill. And he is making fantastic time on that bike. It's amazing. I still don't even see him on the downhill here. He's already made it a mile or two down the road in the time it took us to fill up and take a pee break. That guy, I did not catch his name. He lives in Portland, and he started his bike trek at the Canadian border, and he's all the way down here in, south of Eureka on Highway 101. He started on July 3rd. He's all the way down here, and he's bike packing this whole thing. He said he's going to go to the end down, south of end of California. Crazy. Huge respect for this guy, man. That is just amazing. He's an older gentleman. I'm guessing him at probably 60, maybe a little older. incredible physical fitness and stamina to do this. I mean, just amazing. These hills are unforgiving. He said he's averaging 50 to 75 miles a day. Today, I think he said his elevation gain was going to be 4,000 feet or something like that. And it's nuts. Here he is. He made it 2 miles already down the road. What a guy. Just seeing the country in slow motion. That's awesome. He was pretty impressed with our trailers and our trip. We told him kind of what we were doing, that we were from Houston and we had ridden these little bikes all the way up and around the country to Bar Harbor and then across here to Eureka. And he couldn't believe it when we told him that the tanks on these only hold 1 gallon of fuel. It's like, oh man. Yeah, stopping every 85 to 100 miles to feed these things. Lather, rinse, repeat. Ooh, don't go out. My cameras are still acting up. My chin cam is plugged in now, so it has plenty of power. But the GoPro 8 up here has got a real tendency to lock up all the time. And the only way you can unlock it is to unplug the thing, pull the battery, plug the battery back in, and try to turn it on. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've tried it a couple of different ways. I've tried pulling the battery out of it and then just plugging into the USB, and that seemed to work. But then if I forget to stop the time-lapse recording and kill the bike, it's going to corrupt the footage, so be careful about that. Anyway, I don't know what this is. If you got a battery in it and it's plugged in and you're doing a long-term recording, occasionally it just locks up. You can't turn it off, you can't turn it on, it's stuck doing whatever it's doing. Good luck. So I just had to clear the battery problem and restart it, and now I'm doing my time lapse that I've been missing for the last hour and change. Some really cool roads that we're traveling here. And with as fast as people are traveling on these highways, I cannot imagine being out here on a bicycle. Man, that has got to be really nerve-wracking sometimes. Because people are blowing by us, giving us maybe 6 inches of clearance sometimes, just almost hitting us. I can't imagine what they do to a bicyclist. Wow, check out this valley. Hey, stay on this side of the road there, Skippy. Enjoying the scenery and wandering all over the road. Wow. The wind doesn't help the situation either. You think you're going straight, and the wind says, no, you're going that way. This road is 55 miles an hour, and they had a warning on this curve saying 45 miles an hour. We're going 35, and that's plenty fast. You got pedestrians back there, you got parked cars, people pulling in and out. Jiminy. Be kind of cool if Coffman's could work on that exhaust, measure our bikes and send a prototype out. I have no delusions of grandeur that they're going to be able to do it today. It's more of a project. Got to get some pipe bending equipment, and they'd have to have the support brackets and stuff laser cut or however they're doing it. But if they can take the dimensions and figure out if they've got something on the shelf that would work, cool. These SP Takegawas, they're just crap. They're falling apart. So maybe they could take one of our support plates and use that. Just template off of that and figure out how to bolt one of their exhausts to it. Line of traffic behind us. Hopefully there's a passing lane somewhere. These trees are amazing. Passing lane ahead, oh good. Get rid of this line with 5 or 6 cars that are waiting behind us. Say what? Yeah, it's pretty hot. I'm not sweating, but I'm right at the edge of sweating. It's pretty toasty. It just amazes me the difference that 50 miles makes. And we've felt 2 drastic changes in temperature already. When we left Eureka, it was cold for 35, 40 miles, and then instantly it got warm. And then about 20 miles ago, you gonna do it? And then about 20 miles ago, it got much hotter. 15 degrees hotter. Ugh. Yeah, I'll start sweating immediately just sitting here. It's got to be 90s. There you go. Getting out of there might be a trip. Ooh, watch that first step. Holy shite, that's a drop. Stay. There it goes. Watch that first step. Man. Oh, yeah, straight down. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's 100 and something feet there, minimum. Holy crap. And right here in this spot, there's nothing to arrest your fall. You would just go kadoink, 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 100 feet down. Hell, that's probably more than 100. It's 100 to the top of those trees. Probably 120, 130 to the bottom. Yikes. Slow rolling. Got a whole bunch of cars queued up behind him. Hey, I don't feel bad now. This is a nice looking Tesla. Oh, that is a serious drop. Oh my God. Wow. You know, every one of those groups of big bikers that pass by are probably going, did you see that shit? Those little cubs are pulling trailers. Ukiah, 66 miles. I have no idea what time it is, but wow, that is pretty. That's our guys right there. They telling us to get over? Is there a problem? I don't think so. Nope. No, it looked like they were telling us get over. I couldn't tell. Hey, let me get out in front of you for a minute and check all my pack and everything. Make sure I don't have something hanging off, because it really looked like they were telling us to come by. Is everything good? Huh. It really looked like they were waving us off to the side or something. I don't know what that was about. Anywho, all right, everybody. Welcome back to sweaty, hot California. We're in Ukiah right now, leaving Coffman's exhaust systems. We had a nice visit with Wyatt Coffman there, and he gave us a tour of the facility, showed us how the exhausts are all made. Everything is made in-house. That's really, really cool. And they have a new exhaust for the Rebel 1100 that's a longer, a little bit upswept pipe, but it ends up past the passenger foot poke bracket, so that's a different look, and we might be sending one of those my way to play with it and compare that and see if it works with luggage. Another of my channel viewers sent me a note, I think it was yesterday, and said, hey, if you stop by Coffman, say hi to my bike. His Rebel 1100, identical to mine, the black Rebel is sitting in there, and they just mounted it up. So I told Wyatt he can send the pictures to the guy instead of me, so it comes from the official source, but I'm going to tell him that I saw his bike. Anyway, we are headed out south toward Cupertino, and we're gonna look for food here. We got to get fuel. We're blinking. We're about to run out of fuel. We're sniffing fumes right now, and after that it's just a couple hour trek down to Cupertino. And you are on the wrong side of the road, dude. What is going on here? Okay then. At least we have shade to refuel. I'm going to fill up at least one of my jerry cans, and yeah. Alrighty. Man, it is some kind of hot here. It's right at 100 degrees, and oof, you feel every degree of it. Something going on. Okay, check this out. I wonder why the air was getting so chilly. They're going over the water. What bridge is this? Do we know? I don't know. Okay. Are we on the shoulder, or is this a fucking lane? I think we're on the shoulder. I don't know. We're just going to keep driving it. Crazy aggressive assholes. The speed limit is 55. Jesus. Ooh, it's chilly out here over the water. Oh, this groove pavement feels weird. Sliding left, sliding right. I thought it was wind, but then I realized it was groove pavement. Yeah, might be the gate. I don't know. Can't look too long. Gotta watch the road. This is a very long bridge. Is that a pier going all the way out to these ships? The upper deck up there would be much prettier because you got the sky and everything else. That was still pretty cool. I didn't mind it so much, it's just cold. I'm shivering. It's chilly over the water today. I'm curious about this pier that's going all the way out to those giant cargo ships. It's interesting. Okay, well, good morning all. We are headed out of Cupertino, California this morning. Headed kind of south and east toward Vegas. We're just going to meander along, figure out our route as we go. We're probably going to go ahead and take the big highways, take the slab for a little while to get us out of the bigger cities. Traffic should be fairly moderate right now, we're hoping. It's 9:15 in the morning. And that's that. I mean, we're just kind of head east. We'd like to do the stop through Vegas, and then beyond that, our route is just, whatever takes us home, and do moderate miles every day, probably 350, maybe 400 a day. Just depends on how much progress we're making. We might have a day or so in there that we double down and really haul butt and try to get home and cover more miles, but 350 to 400 is somewhat comfortable for us. 10 hours on the bike, it's not too bad. We can manage it. Nothing like the 500-mile days we were doing at the Cannonball. Anyway, so we're headed down to Bass Pro Shops right now. Adrian wants to get a fishing shirt. I might do the same, something that just covers our arms so we can ditch the riding jackets, put them in our boxes there, something to help us manage the heat, because it's going to be hot getting into eastern California and into Nevada. It's going to be real hot. So we'll see. Okay, everybody. Welcome back to the day in progress. We're at it again. Fueling up on the side of the road. Right now we're on I-5, California, headed toward Los Angeles, Bakersfield area. We're going to be getting off at Bakersfield and headed toward the Sequoia National Park to camp for the night. And hopefully it's a little cooler there, because, oh my God, it's like Satan's armpit here. It's got to be 100 degrees and then some. It is brutal out here. Don't know how well I'm going to be sleeping tonight if it's... Oh, look at this. This thing is so hard to pour. Just pissed it everywhere, all over the ground and the bike. Oh, the fun. And notice I'm fueling the bike from the curb side, because we've had a few close calls where trucks are way over the line. 2-3 feet over the line, just barely squeezed by us. What they were doing, playing with their cell phones or staring at us instead of the road. I don't know. Target fixation. Ooh, and we are the targets right now. Oh, so there's still a sniff of gas in this can. All you gotta do. Like that guy. Good Lord, man. You got all the road in the world. He's riding over the line. Jesus. Gotta say, I'm not impressed with California's drivers. I thought Houston was bad. Good God, these people are crazy. 100+ miles an hour, threading through each other. And just aggressive to be aggressive. Not getting anywhere any faster than anybody else. Just chill out. So this is what we've done. At least... probably going on 100 times now. Fuel up every 85 to 100 miles. I always have to wait for an empty spot to get over here to the side. Focus on these monkeys, because they're not focusing on what they're supposed to be doing. I'm always leaving my flasher on in the back so they can see us, but seems like they need a fireworks display in their face to even see us. That might not even catch their attention. Playing Tetris on their damn phones. Okay. Yeah. Well, we're going to have to get rolling, so... I'm going to take a drink here. Holy hell, it's hot. Oh man, yeah, I lost at least 5 miles on the ground over there. Maybe 10 miles. It's evaporating pretty quick, but that's a lot of spill. Alright, well, we can get out any time. It's just, you know, by the time we get moving, the landscape is going to change. Just don't want to be standing next to the bike, which is even closer to peril. At least we found a shady spot to refuel right before his bike petered out. He ran it dry earlier. It died like as we were coasting down to a stop. This is a seriously busy freeway. So we're just going to have to wait for somewhat of a lull and start rolling. We're about 90 miles outside, or 88 miles outside of Bakersfield right now. When we get done with that, we're hopefully staying off of the big interstates for a while, and we can take the slow roads. But really, there's no way to get where we want to go on surface streets or side highways, as far as we can tell. So, interstate was the only way. After that, we can take the little highways. Okay, after this car, hit it. First gear helps. Ooh, I'm gonna run you over. Hit it. Yep, good enough. They can scoot over, they got an empty lane. Whether they will scoot over, we don't know. I said whether they will scoot over, we don't know, but they had an empty lane they could use. Did you have your side stand down again? Yeah, I keep doing that too. It'd be nice to have the ignition interlock on this thing. Prevent you from shooting yourself in the foot. Okay, so we're back on the road. Nothing more to see here other than two dumbasses on the interstate on little bikes. I will rejoin you when we get closer to Bakersfield. Oh, and I know all the haters are gonna start chiming in. You shouldn't be out there on the highway. Blah, blah, blah. You little bikes can't go fast enough. Blah, 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 blah. We're going the speed limit. Actually, we're going over the speed limit. We're going 56 to 58 most of the time, and I'm actually slowing down. Full speed, we can run 60, 62 pretty easily, even with the trailers out here. Everywhere on the highway out here, it's posted 55 miles an hour maximum speed for anything 3 axles or more, or any vehicles towing trailers. So, yeah, apparently speed limits are not enforced out here at all. But yeah, ooh, great, cattle truck. That's going to smell good. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I haven't smelled cows in about 3 minutes. Yeah. So anyway, we're running anywhere from 55 to 60, and backing out of the throttle a little bit. So yes, the little cubs can go 60 miles an hour on the highway. It's not really comfortable. I don't recommend it, but when you have no other choice, it'll do it. This is GPS speed, not this. This thing registers pretty slow. So 59, and I'm only running half throttle. Oh, careful now. You got that draft. What we try to do is slingshot these trailers as they go by us. Every now and then, if they're going just the right speed, we can pick them up in the draft and get sucked along behind them at 65, and we're only running about 1/3 throttle because they cut all of our air resistance. So it's quite easy. Like here, I'm doing 62 and I'm not even wide open. Go wide open and tuck in. Catch up to them. Stay in the bubble. So if I get left behind, I'm not catching them. You gotta ride the draft. I am full throttle now, trying to stay in the draft envelope. Once I get in it, I can back out to only half throttle. Close. I think you're dropping back, Adrian. I don't think you can keep him. Adrian's got a big air windscreen on his, so he's pushing a barn door in front of him. Yeah. Adrian's windscreen is giving a little too much air resistance. I've just got this shorty on here, so if I tuck in and shrink myself up, I can pick up about 5 miles an hour. On the straightaways, when I'm not fighting wind, I can do about 65-ish, 66, even in pulling the trailer. Without the trailer, I can do 72, 73. Anyway, welcome to our day for the last 3 weeks. Drafting, trying to haul ass and save gas. Usually they're mutually exclusive, but kind of find times to make it work. So we're cruising very comfortably. You can't see how much throttle I have left. 60 miles an hour. So. Yep. No haters. Keep your nasty comments to yourself. Alright everybody, welcome back to our very hot Friday in progress. We're headed into the tail end, the southern end of the Sierra Nevada range here. Just east of Bakersfield, kind of northeast. And we're headed on East 58 right now over toward Vegas. We were thinking about camping in the Sequoia National Forest, but we're just going to plug on. We're going to keep going until we get tired, until roughly dusk, and find a place and camp. We'll camp proper if we can, otherwise it's going to be a stealth camp. Some of these orchards are looking interesting. The ones that aren't fenced anyway. We found some a few miles down the road that had no fence. Pitch a tent in there and nobody's going to know. But yeah, we're sweating away here. It's about 102 was the official temperature a bit ago. But once you're out here on this blacktop, it's much hotter. We had to take a break, hide out in McDonald's for a little while, soak up some of their free air conditioning, had a couple of cold drinks. I filled up my hydration pack with ice and water, and hit it again. Adrian took his little 30-minute power nap, and 20-minute power nap. We're back out here on the plains, basin leading up to the Sierras. And it's hot. Rules are hot. I'm kind of dreading the ride into Nevada tomorrow. It's going to be ugly. So we will get up at the crack of dawn, ride through the early morning when it's not so hot, and then as the heat starts to build toward about noon or 1, we'll probably duck in somewhere if we haven't already made it to Vegas. See how the rest of the day goes. Anyway, here's the road and the mountains. I've already seen several commenters on YouTube asking, you're taking the Cubs on the interstate? Yeah, and in the hills, this is what we end up with. The Cubs are much faster than even the big trucks going up the hills, so we're not too worried about it. It's a pretty common occurrence when you're out here in the mountains. There's going to be a lot of truck passing lanes. You have truck passing lanes and things like that because the big trucks just can't pull the hills fast. Woo. Apparently he can. So, yeah, I mean, people are used to slowing down a little bit, hopefully, before they run us over. And we've got these really bright flashers on the back of the bikes that does help people see us, and we've noticed a lot of people slow down and they look at us, probably looking at the trailer, but also looking at, okay, well, why are they flashing? Flashing to get your attention, that's why. Anyway, plugging along. 40 miles an hour up the hills, 30 miles an hour sometimes, depends on how steep the hill. It's pretty rare for us to have to drop to second gear, but there are a few inclines that have forced that. But most of those were on the tiny little rural roads, rural highways and twisty stuff. The interstates are typically graded in such a way that they don't get above about, I think the highest I've seen is 11 to 13% grade, because most of these trucks just wouldn't be able to pull it if they're fully loaded. They would be able to pull it any faster than 10 to 15 miles an hour anymore. But anyway, we're doing a little better than that, so I'm not too concerned. And I lost a glove, son of a bitch. Yep, I lost a glove. Yep, I guess I'm riding with my other gloves now. Oh well. Check out the wind farm. It's a big one. All across the ridge. That's a lot of turbines. Or windmills, whatever they call them. Wow. The wind must be behind us because I'm running 60 miles an hour at half throttle. So that's really interesting looking. They've got lots of mammoth wind turbines, these huge things, and then they got rows of little ones underneath it that aren't spinning, they're not doing anything. And then over there, they've got medium-sized ones. huge honking winter lights. Got that one furled and shut down, covered for maintenance. Look what the little ones are all about. And they're all locked in exactly the same position. That's interesting. We got the little ones spinning over here. Those look littler than those, but it might be distance that's fooling me. Those are small. Yeah, these hills look close until you just keep rolling on them, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. Really stinking terrible. It's a little late, but check out that sunset in the rearview mirror, everybody. I was looking at it a moment ago, but we got busy discussing route options and maps, and I forgot to take a good look at the sunset. I think we've decided we're going to skip Vegas, actually. We're getting a little short on time. We need to be back in Houston on the 29th, and that only gives us 5 more days. Today's the 23rd, so 24th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. And being in on the 29th will be the 6th day, but we've got 1,500 miles to cover, and if we break that up across about 350, maybe 400 miles a day, we might even be able to get in a day early. There's going to be plenty of other sightseeing opportunities on the way back through Arizona and all that, so I think that's our plan. We're going to continue on ahead here. We're going to pick up a southern route and kind of go over toward the Arizona side of things, and see what we do from there. The temperatures have finally dropped. It's getting kind of nice to ride out here, but I don't really care for riding at night if I can avoid it. We are going to need to get off the highway eventually. I need to put my glove back on and not let this one fly away. I lost it a minute ago. My cheaper mesh gloves, but boy, I'm going to be wishing for those mesh gloves tomorrow when it's hot. Anyway, temperatures dropped quite a bit. It's probably down in the mid 80s now. It's probably going to start getting chilly after the sun drops, but we'll keep pushing for a little while and figure out where we want to stealth camp or what we're doing for tonight. We're kind of still going in the direction of Barstow, and I'm not sure how much further the road is going to take us before we get tired. But the more miles we can crush out now, the better, and that'll leave more options for tomorrow and the remaining days getting back to Houston. We're kind of getting road weary. We're ready for the trip to end, I think. Our butts are wearing out and running out of supplies, and I gotta get back to work. Adrian has got a family commitment that he needs to do for the 30th, so that's why our hard stop is the 29th. And it's good timing for me too, because I've got stuff that needs done. So a full month on the road, that's long enough, I guess. It's amazing. I think it's been almost that long now. It's been over 3 weeks. So, rolling stone.